Hello and welcome back to the Minetrek.net game server. Still working on Project E over here. I just decided to go ahead and get rid of this upper layer right here because it's not really needed, and I need to copy out some of the work that Killer Waffles has just completed, and I'll show you that here in just a second. I also found a couple of other flaws that were in the build that I missed from updating the ship. You know, what can I say? Live and learn, live and learn. But they're not detrimental. I had a turbo lift that was just a little bit too wide, and it was sort of, yeah, kind of bugged me when I found it. This one right here, if you look at it, it goes from being kind of thin to being really wide, and I had to go back through and I had to reshape it because beforehand it was 4 wide going through there. Actually, it was on this side, that wall right there that I have my crosshair on. I just added that. So yeah, now I got to go back through here and update all the patterns and whatnot. And I was going through and I was checking stuff out, and I noticed the other day, in the last video, I was showing the deck plans, and I kind of came down here and it ended, and I'm like, oh, I thought there was a crossover here. Well, the crossover was actually a couple of decks above us. And so I missed it. I needed to go further up the deck plans to find it. But when I came here, this went to nowhere. Literally, there was a turbo lift shaft that went right up like 5 blocks in and then stopped. I'm like, what the heck? And then it dawned on me. Ha ha ha. Bathroom. So, because I changed the door for the turbo lift to face this way as opposed to facing into the corridor that used to be right there, I could repurpose that area. And so I did. I enlarged the community space pooper, and I have to admit, it's a lot nicer now that it's been enlarged. So yeah, the space pooper's been fixed. But I'll show you here what Killer Waffles did. Come down through here. Come on, let me down. Hi, Ben. It's my cat meowing in the background. Somebody just let him in, so he wants free food. But yeah, check it out. This is the area that I kind of mocked up, and Ben just sort of kind of followed through with it onto this side. He did a really nice job with the layout for the ceiling. So I'm going to mirror the ceiling over to the other side because might as well keep that uniform as much as possible. But yeah, he did a nice little waterfall thing right here with the sort of the Starfleet Delta in the background. It looks really good. And again, the color of the walls could eventually change. I mean, we can make that background darker instead of having the lighter brown. We can make it a darker color. Things for food for thought for later on. Right now, the preliminary design of the area is just phenomenal. Again, over time, things will get added, things will get changed and stuff like that as we learn and get bored and people want to come through and work on it. I still have to build the bathroom in here, and it never fails. Every time I start recording, he comes in here and wants me to love on him and give him free stuff. But yeah, come through here. There's a lot of stuff that can be done with these walls eventually. But for the most part, this is an excellent start. Ben did a fantastic job, and I agree, especially with the ceiling. I greatly appreciate what he did. Also, somebody took the initiative. I want to thank the person who did that. I thought it was Killer Waffles who did it. And sorry, I meant to say Killer Waffles did an awesome job in this area, and I sincerely appreciate it. My cat's name is Ben, so yeah. Anyways, Ben the kitty did not come in here and do this. Trust me, no. But they opened up this turbo lift, and I completely spaced that off, and I want to say thank you. What I did is I pushed this wall back so that when you come around the corner here, it's sort of a nook that you can step into. It gives me a better angle for the turbo lift right here so that the door actually fits flush with the wall of the turbo lift shaft, which it does a lot better. Now, atypically, I'm not a fan of this right here. So what I'm going to try and do real quick here while I'm thinking about that is I'm going to try, and I can do it. Awesome. I'm going to fix that right like that. I like to have at least, imagine when you're in this, you are the turbo lift. Okay, now granted, I would prefer to have a 3x3 turbo lift system, but the original Enterprise D, they were 2x2. So that was the standard by which everything else was done on the server. Now, if you go over and look at my free built Sovereign, which I built by hand, including the hull, and you can get that from Planet Minecraft, or I think it's still on the server in one of the new areas. It's the turbolifts are 3x3, and I built that before I had ever explored or really gotten a look at the Enterprise D, or even started working on the original Halcoon version of the Enterprise D. And once I started working on that, I realized, okay, everything had to be set to a standard. So that ship was, of course, the icon, the sole reason the server even existed. So that was the standard by which everything was measured. Now, as the turbolift, you are essentially these 4 blocks. And these 4 blocks have to move through the system. So imagine if you had to move to here. Just think of Tetris. You have to be able to slide smoothly. And if there's a block right here, you can't do it. You can't get out. So that's just one of those things. When I see those things, I have to fix them. And I find flaws like that occasionally on my builds, and it's just it is what it is. You know, it's Minecraft. Everything's in block format. You just got to make compromises. But I went through here and I filled in fixed this crew quarter. This is a smaller bedroom, but at least you got a full-size bath in here. You know, that's what's important when you're in space. The space shower. Don't let anybody kid you. That space shower is golden. But let's go ahead and see if we can walk from here through this section of the ship and connect up with the other side. And as we do it, I can look for other issues and stuff. I did fix this as well. Make sure I want to make sure that I did fix it. And again, I was mentioning about turbolifts and whatnot. It is, if you're a builder or a ship designer, just feel free to come check out what we've done here. Now, this area here is a little bit bigger than I would prefer it be, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it as it is. I can come back and revise this later on, but I figure, you know, for the most part, it's going to be fine. And then it kind of just bends over and comes down through here. But yeah, come and check out how the turbolifts are laid out on this build and on the Enterprise D, or even on the Enterprise A, because everything that I do as far as turbolift design goes is based off of how simple the turbolift system is on the Enterprise A. And it was the way it was designed by the initial designer, it kind of set the standard for everything. And I liked it, and I use that now as my base blueprint for everything that I do. And the reason for that is it's simple. It shows that if you have multiple decks, you spread the turbolift system out through those decks. So like one deck would be, you would have it in the center, closer to the center, and then it would go down and move along another deck at another level. Then it would go up or down again, and then you would have runners going up and down between the decks. And you lay it out sort of like a bicycle. A part of it, you take a bicycle spoke, you have a center hub, and then it has branches going off in different directions. And you split these we'll call them fingers, and you split the fingers between decks. So say, you know, this finger would be up there like this, and then the finger that goes to the next, say that goes fore and aft, would go down one deck, and it would actually be these blocks right here. And that would go back and forth and things like that. It makes it so much easier when you take that spoke and you break it up between the decks. It's still a connected spoke, but it's broken up between the decks, and it allows you to be able to have corridors going over the top of turbolift, so your corridors, you know, have their continuity and whatnot. And yeah, it's simpler when you start thinking of it that way. I mean, when we start designing another ship, I'll try and do videos on how I do the Jeffries tubes and the turbolifts and whatnot. That way there, you can see the process that I use, and it might help you in your process and how you decide to do things and whatnot. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Okay, we want to go this way, I believe, and I think it was past you to right here, and then it was this way. Yep. So here's this area here, and there was something else I wanted to do. I think it was back this way, along this pathway here. Yep, yeah, I wanted to fix the turbolift on this side. then walk over here. And again, when I copy over what Ben did, I'll also copy over all the little layers stuff. Drop down here and like so. Like so. Now it might have actually, nope, that was the right side because there's a room right here. This is a lab or just a extra room. All down through here are mostly labs. And again, you've got to remember that they used to have open up into that area over there. So I got to come through and I got to repurpose all these rooms to be labs. It means I got to change all the interior walls, and I'll do that off recording, so nobody has to, watch me do that. They'll be the white walls with the white trim around the edge and whatnot. So yeah, all these through here, and I got to do it on both sides before I actually reincorporate this section back into the ship. And I won't be doing that until this side of the grotto is actually completed. So let's go ahead and grab that copy over here real quick. Now, as far as I can tell, apart from the center, everything is uniform, mirrorable. So we should be good to go on that. But what we'll do is we will highlight her and go this way, all the way, and come from here. We'll go, I think, to right here. We'll go one more, just be on the safe side. And I'll come back again. I'll double check all this to make sure. I might have to go one more block down, but I'll know here in just a second. Make sure everything's okay. To mirror to mirror, mirror to mirror. We're good. We're good. We can mirror the roof without issue, which is a good thing. Because the roof can stay, the roof can be mirrored. It's the insides that matter the most. Okay. Do we have to come down one more? I'm thinking no. No, we don't. We'll know once we do it, but I'm thinking, yeah, it's going to encompass the whole thing, so we should be good. Let's go ahead and mirror it and see what we get over here. And I'd like to do a shout out to the guys over at Axanar. They're back into the full swing of things, and I just watched one of their, a friend of mine sent me a link to one of their morning shows. They do a morning stream. I think it's called Minetrek. Alec does that. I just watched it, and I want to say thank you to the guy that sent me the link. And I do hope that if you enjoy Star Trek, you definitely gotta support what those guys are doing, and because they're keeping the original vision of Gene Roddenberry up and running, and with what they're doing with their project. And I know their project has had a lot of controversy over the years because of CBS playing games and whatnot. And I'm glad to see that those guys are still going and going strong. They have a huge fan following. And of course, a lot of the original actors from Star Trek also, participated in the original trailer that they did. And unfortunately, the late Richard Hatch is no longer with us. But he was one of the guiding lights of that, but I could be wrong, but he was definitely involved in that. And Richard Hatch, if you're not familiar, he played Apollo in the original Battlestar Galactica from the late 1970s. And I remember being a 12-year-old, at that time, an 8-year-old boy in 1978, 9 years old, and sitting there on Sunday, September 17th, eager to watch my Battlestar Galactica on ABC, and I remember watching the full 3 hours of that and just being blown away by it. And I rewatched the original Battlestar Galactica, and I still think that it is a superior show, character-wise, story-wise, than what we ended up with in the mid-2000s with the remake of Battlestar Galactica, although that in itself, as a show for itself, did very well, and I liked it as well. So, but I prefer the original Battlestar, but I love the special effects of the remake Battlestar. was fantastic. But anyways, yeah, check out Axanar. Check out their page. I'll have a link in the description below to his live chat as well as the Axanar information that I have. And again, thank you to the fan that pointed that out to me. Also, thank you for pointing out the other issue you saw in the last video. Yeah, that was, I fixed it. I'm not going to bring it up, but yeah, it's been fixed. Thanks for pointing that out. You have a keen eye, sir. A keen eye. Yeah, I can't believe I missed that. But thank you. Maybe one day I might go back and bring that topic up. But yeah, if you see if you watch the video and see if you can figure out where what we're talking about, what happened and whatnot. But yeah. Anyways, so the mirroring's done. There's the roof I did. It looks more industrial, but eh. I can live with it. And then you transition over here to the more, this is what Killer Waffles did, and it looks more inviting. Again, I'm sure this section here can probably be reworked a little bit because it doesn't, this was for that waterfall he had over there, but for the most part I can leave it the way it is, and then it can be reworked as needed. But through here I like this. I really like this. It has a, you know, like, you would go into a mall and you would see the roof in a mall. Sort of a feel to it, so it fits really well. Did a nice job with that. You gotta hand it to him. It fits really good. Now I gotta build the bathrooms and figure out what to do on this side. We can just leave it open and turn into a big, you know, hey, party tardy, gymnasium sort of a thing. Yeah, the Enterprise E doesn't have a big gymnasium section, so like the Enterprise D does. The Enterprise D has 4 independently separate gymnasiums that Shadow Appler designed for us. And they're multi-level structures, and I challenge you when you explore the Enterprise D to go and find those structures and check out those gyms, because they're big and they're worth checking out. They're worth checking out, to say the least. All right, let's go ahead and go back to being solid here and whatnot. But yeah, I'm going to pull out the impulse engine bays and on the starboard side of the ship, and I will most assuredly, let's go ahead and change that to that, rework the impulse bay based off what Blue Phobes and Shadow Appler and the team did on the Luminosity B, because that's just a beautiful bay, and you know, why not? You know, we can do it. It's our own. You know, why break something when it's so easy to just, you know, use what is existing? And they have done a beautiful job with that, and I really like it, and I think that it would serve us well if we also incorporated it. So yeah. Now the only section that will be mirrored over to the other side will be this center section here for reasons, and but I'm going to do it in sections here. I'm going to copy this section over, and then I will come back and I'll copy this center section over. These, again, this was just me putting in filler spots, you know, little light things. Think of it this way: you come over here and it's like a meditation thing, you know. I don't know. 20 people in this century are weird. They like to stare at light bulbs or light sticks. That's my logic, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, come back here. I'm gonna do a copy. We can do it this time. Copy. And we'll do a flippers, and I'll come forward and I will do a paste A. What the A does is just paste it with the existing material and doesn't rewrite it, which is an important thing to keep in mind. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to gotta make sure. Had a bit of an issue with Minecraft not letting me reload this morning, so I'm going to keep the wood pattern, but I'm going to replace the boulder or the cobblestone here, and get rid of this and the grass. There's some things you must keep uniform, and sometimes it's a pattern on the floor or of course the ceiling, and you know, sometimes you don't, but for the most part you do what you can do. Now, I could continue to design this area myself, which I'll probably do. I'm going to go over and I'm going to look at the Enterprise D, and I'm going to also look at some of the other builds that have done Grotto works and see if there's anything else I can glean from those and, you know, borrow, steal, bag, whatever, and go from there. And I'm going to actually, you know what? That wasn't too bad of an idea earlier. Let's just go this way here. There. That'll actually, yeah, that'll work. What? Yeah, let's go one more. It's, you know, I don't think we actually have to copy that over. I think I can come up with a different pattern for that side, but it's such an odd shape. Let me go over here and look. The only one I really cared about was coming off the stairs. I wanted that floor pattern coming off the stairs. Because if you look at it, it's just kind of a cool pattern. I kind of enjoyed that pattern. And yeah. Let's go ahead and clear that. I'll keep that right there, but I'll worry about redesigning the space under there, because it doesn't have to be the exact copy. So, you know, different side of the ship can be a different look. You know, over here you got the forested area. Over there can be, you know, like a Zen garden or something. Before we do anything else, let's go ahead and transition out of the ship here and go up to the grotto that was done by, I believe, Man Squirrel. He did a really good job of that. I had to go back and do a lot of rework on the walls and whatnot when I updated the build. Here we go, right here. And then I'm gonna go. There we go, solid. And there. But you can see this is the roof pattern that he went with. And again, it's a shaped area, so he was really able to go to town with it. And you got the waterfall. Wow, that doesn't look right, does it to you? That doesn't look right to me. I'm going to go ahead and fix that while I'm here. It doesn't look right. I'll go ahead and leave that one there. Water is such a weird thing to use in Minecraft. I tell you, you're constantly having to just, you know how it just doesn't look right, even if that's there. Guess I'm going to go, yeah, okay, that looks a lot better, because now it looks more flowing as opposed to just blocky looking. But he went with the Japanese garden style here. Oh, that's why. Okay. Yeah, because the two sides are different, and that's just a leftover from when I mirrored the roof, when I changed the roof and stuff around. So we can get rid of that, and replace it with this, and that. There we go. And get rid of you and you, and you. There we go. I guess I can get rid of you as well. Alright, see? Found something to fix, and we fixed it. Gotta love it. Every time, you know, just flying around, you'll do that as well. When you build something, you will go through and you will just consistently find things that need to be done up and fixed and whatnot. So I'm going to take a screen cap real quick there and there, just because I want to kind of get a feel for how he did things. Gotta admit, he did a really nice job in here. It's a shame that he no longer plays Minecraft. I think he gets burned out. He got burned out on it or whatnot, and decided to go off and do other things. And you can't blame him. I mean, I wouldn't blame him. A lot of fun stuff could be done. A lot of other games out there to play. Just currently none that I enjoy playing. I play Star Trek Online, but who doesn't? All right, so we've got this one, and I'm not sure. Let me check the Dynamap here real quick. Actually, I can't check the Dynamap. I don't have it up. I wonder if the... No, it doesn't. I was over there, looked at it earlier, and he didn't have anything in there. Alright. So, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I'll pull out this section here, the impulse bay, and decide what, you know, what is the best way to proceed with it. But it's going to be, hopefully that won't take too long to revise, because again, I'll be using what they did over on the Luminosity be as a guiding point for it. So as a guide to building it, and hopefully I'll be able to get that done, pretty quick and get it all tidied up and whatnot. And one other thing I have to do that I did not do earlier. Let's go ahead and speed up here. I got to put these back in. I removed them while I was working by accident. I just kind of went over the top of them. So I want to put this back in real quick here. Choop. Choop. And I'm going to go up. And actually I'll do it from the bottom here. It'll be a lot easier. Stay solid. Straight up. Okay. Then I'm going to go straight down. And I'll figure out how to work it into the build. I'm thinking maybe half slab over the top of it or something. I don't know. I'll figure something out. If I can't use it, then I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But go back to being solid again. And paste. Okay. So if I come up here, it's right under this area here. So let's go ahead and come up and go solid again. And break it down, see what we got going on here. Right there. Now, keep in mind, the only area that I need to have access to is this right here. And it's just, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. We'll find something to cover it up. Kind of a maintenance sort of a hatchy thing. What would work good for that? Well, first we're going to do this. Something like that. I hate to lose the grass because it was a nice little area right here with the grass. And there's not much I can do about that. And then I guess we could do this guy over the top of it. Something like that. It's hideous. I know. It's absolutely hideous. But there's not much I can do. I have to, I have to account for it, so, what can you do? I can just leave it as something on the hull, but, I could do that as well, but, yeah, it's hideous. It's absolutely hideous. Yeah, I guess I could do that. Leave it like that. I could even go cobblestone half slab, but yeah, it works. It's just mainly a service hatch. If they have to, they can, I guess, use it for whatever reasons. But I got to make sure I keep it in the build. Alrighty, so I do appreciate taking time to watch. Again, this is the Minetrek.net game server. If you'd feel up to it, hit that like button for me, and come join us on Facebook and or donate to the server. Links are in the description below. And have a great day. Bye-bye.